the entire topic in history is so skewed and flawed. And the amount.
So go back and watch the last video, because he's wanting to know how African Americans teach their children about slavery, that part of history, because he's recognized that his own history, or what he knows about slavery, is skewed and flawed. So he wants to know how we teach our children. First, I'm going to talk about myself. As an African American, my parents just laid it all out. And you have to remember that as an African American, we had to know. It was more on a need to know. Remember, we're coming from the civil rights movement. We are the ones who are being mistreated, right? So it's a need to know. We can't just not tell our children, and they couldn't just not to reveal these things, because you have to know these things, right? It's a part of our history, and we have to know where we come from in order to know where to flip we're going. Now, so it was done through movies, basically on television. There was a lot more civil rights movement, documentaries, the people, everything, right? When I was growing up, it was on television, right? And so we knew the history, we read books, okay? Book reports, everything, we knew it. Because in my skin, as an African American, right? This is what I'm going to have to know. And my own children, grandchildren are going to have to know, because of the world we live in, the society we live in, and they have to know why these things happen and what we did to overcome. It's a power. There's a power and a strength in knowing where my ancestors came from and what they overcame. And it's really powerful, because it gives honor and dignity and all these things. When everyone is against you, you still rose. I can do anything, right? So it's not just talking about slavery. It's talking about the overcoming and the power that we had to build and build and build. And no matter what anybody does to you, you're going to make it, because we have a foundation. So it wasn't just about talking about, oh, you were slaves. No, the foundation of it all is you come from a powerful people, a people who, even though they could have all passed away, they did not. Now, living in skin that's not African American, they didn't have the same. Of course, this man in the video is white, right? He has a majority European background, I'm assuming, right? So I'm assuming that. So yeah, the talking about it with white children may not be the same, because you will have to let them know the truth. This is exactly what some of your people did. And of course, the question is going to be why, and you tell the truth. And so that's how, I'm assuming that's how white people could do it. You tell the truth, and you say there are good people and bad people, and some of those white people were bad, seriously bad. Now, I have a child, okay? And so I taught my child about it from a very early age. It wasn't secret. By the time we went on the first field trip, one of his first field trips out of town, and we incidentally ended up on a plantation, which I was not wanting to go on, because I don't go to plantations, okay? But just happened. I didn't know a plantation was on the freaking trip. All right. So I was there. I didn't want to show out. So we were there, but because of the background that I taught my son already knew. And so he was just there. There was nothing that, and he was young, right? However, there are some things that I did not tell him because of his age. There's some things, no, I had to wait. You know what I'm saying? And there's some things that I can't stomach saying too much. I can't stomach saying it. So whatever I could not stomach saying, nope, he didn't know about. Right? It has to be over the course of time. You don't really want to go way into the details because yeah. Yeah. Like there was one detail about what happened to my forefathers that it took me months to even utter. Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's still some things that he doesn't know. Like my own child doesn't know. Yeah. Not gonna say that. That's more for, yeah, adult. Probably let you know when you're an adult. Okay. But yeah, so just how we teach it, it's just taught. It's a part. It's a part. We're being an African American. We're never ashamed of our forefathers. Our forefathers are some of the most powerful people on the planet Earth. You know, like the freaking Underground Railroad. When I was in preschool, I played Harriet Tubman. This is just how early we played the characters. I was Harriet Tubman. I had a whole speech. Harriet Tubman has been in my life forever, right? Um, Frederick Douglass. We have Booker T. Washington. These were Booker T. Washington, Tuskegee University. So I'm talking about going from slavery, right, to founding one of the most successful and prominent HBCUs in the country. So when we talk about in my family in beyond, right? When we talk about slavery, there's so much in that people miss. There's so much power in that people miss. It's not just slavery. It's okay, yes. This is what is happening, but at the same time, this a dual. You can teach it dual. You can teach about slavery, but also there was also a life that African Americans had secret from those plantations. Like we would have secret ways to learn how to read and write. We were very innovative. We were freaking inventing things, right? So it's one thing to talk about the atrocities, and it's another thing to talk about how bold and beautiful African Americans are and were in spite of what was going on, in spite of it. We built so many things in the United States when we were the foundation, the crops, the rice, everything that America is. That why America has the money that it has is because of African American enslaved people. Going all the way back to vaccinations, right? Antibodies or whatever, right? From snake poison and stuff. We taught that. We taught Europeans learned so much from us, but no one talks about it. But like you said, like the guy said, his history is flawed because he didn't learn the whole entire picture. Most people only learn a portion. That's it. But when you look at African Americans in the United States, you have to take it all in totality. We are great people. Even during the times of slavery.